This month we've been talking about freedom. And today's talk, when I read the title, I kind of looked at it and said, I don't feel this. And it's, I am joyful in the joy of God. And you know, I was reading this and I was getting ready to write this talk, and I got some news that was kind of heavy, and because that's when Nancy texts me. I'm in the middle of trying to write this talk on this, and Nancy texts me that our loving Terry Mosman husband had made his transition. So, and I'm said, I'm supposed to be talking about joyful? And you know, and I'm trying to write joyful, and I was not feeling the joy. So I said, something, there's a message in here for me. And I know that Terry, I know that it's, you know, like when your loved one makes this transition, because I had that almost exact same type of experience. It's like, you know it's time, you know it's ready, but it's still that weight that is they're on the other side. You want that freedom for them, but it's a heavy experience. So I wrote a talk, and I was trying to think of joy in the sense of the way Troy would describe it, as the joy as an aspect of God. And then I just didn't feel it. You know, so it was very technical, right, talk. And then I said, I don't like to talk like this. It's not me. And then I wrote another one, you know, talking about the appreciate having joy inside of us. And then I got up this morning and it just wasn't hitting me. So I came here and I was sitting at the desk and I said, okay, maybe I should just treat myself so this comes out right. So I did this treatment. And then I start writing, and I am not kidding you. I just felt like Spirit said, yeah, this is where you're going. So I realized that joy is, when we describe it as a characteristic of God, we describing what it is. It's not this jump up and down, oh, whoopee, whoopee, whoopee kind of sense of being. It is having that serene, that feeling that the spirit of life is in us. And no matter what the challenge, as Oscar said, no matter what challenge, I got this because spirit is in me, and spirit can turn it in a different way. We have that. We have that energy. We can do this. And joy is about feeling good, to know this, to know that this is the truth about our being. We are, think about it. Spirit, that which created the moon, the stars, and all this, that power, all this, the nature, all of these things that we appreciate and admire, and that same thing, that power that we are talking about is the power that is in us. And it doesn't matter if you are stumbling and falling down a little bit. You could be all right, because this is the lesson. That's the lesson. You fall down and said, okay, this is helping me take the choice of what I do want to experience, because I don't want to do this. I don't want to go this direction, but I can go in another direction. So I can look at this as my life lesson. And, you know, when we talk about being free, and freedom is knowing and understanding that no matter what in the physical realm happens, that nothing in this physical realm has hold of us. You know that? The power to change everything is in here in us. And to know that and to understand that and to realize that. So it is all right to sense and say, I'm free. And you know, I got that feeling to a certain extent, but I think I'm getting it more and more. You know, when you grow up in the South and you experience a lot of the restrictions that I grew up in, and you know what it's like to have somebody else feeling like they in charge of you and controlling you, and then you learn about this. No, I am not subject to any human's dictation. I am subject to this person, this entity that is here within me. I am subject to that. And it set me free from a whole world of thinking that I had fought and marched and protested against. I know I got a freedom from it. So that was like, and the thing that is really interesting about this freedom, this understanding, the joy of it is that it is expanded. You're free from this, and then you're free from even more, and then you're free. And you know what? The ultimate freedom is to understand that we are continuously learning how to use this. We are learning that this is the way in which we were meant to be. This is part of our evolution and evolution of being, is to keep learning how to free ourselves from this. I tell you, when I love that how Michael Beckwith describes it, the imprint of society, of mankind. You are learning to free ourselves. We are learning to free ourselves from it. That's the joy of knowing that we are being given a way and a means to not have to be subject to anything, the politics, the society rules and regulations. Those things are set up for out there. But we are learning that the power, oh yeah, that power that says, I can do this, is in us. And we have access to it at all times. You know, when it's almost like when you feel it and when you touch it, it's. And I'm looking for the words, and I know that there are words that can describe it. Sometimes it seems so grand and so great and so expansive that words will not pay it the right honor. Because truly living this life of knowing that this is a journey in which I am learning, it's nothing else could say it's staying home. I can learn that this journey is all here. It's here. And we are in the process of embracing it. We are in the process of learning it. And and that's why I was looking at everybody this morning is here, and I feel like, oh yeah, all of us are doing this. We are learning and gaining and stepping into an awareness and understanding that the infinite intelligence of the universe is what I am using. That's the wisdom that I'm calling on. That's the power that is able to create what I want and to stand in the awareness. How do you see this? The awareness that the divine, that infinite intelligence, that is that which created this earth, that is supporting us to be its way to bring the newness of being into expression. That is what it is. We are that avenue, which the Mother Nature and is supporting us. Yeah, you get your oxygen and all that other stuff from. Mother Nature is supporting us. It has the power. And the infinite presence is the wisdom and the knowledge. I mean, if it has that wisdom and knowledge. And the thing about it is that we live, when they said we live on that cutting edge, nothing that has gone before has the power and the ability to stop the new creation that you choose to do. Nothing. Just think about it. We are learning how to realize that all that past, that has gone before us, that's water under the bridge. Because we live on this edge, y'all. We are living on that edge. I think it's that picture where the person is standing on the edge, and standing on the edge, and he pushed us, and we flew. Well, we living on this edge. We living with, and stepping into this philosophy is what we are here to do. You didn't accidentally find this philosophy. You brought yourself to it. And you were the wisdom, you had the wisdom and the idea to say, oh, that's how I want to think. And then you just begin to discover all this wondrous presence and the power and the ability and the joy of being able to shift our experience. And sometimes we think, we say that it's the thoughts, but you got to have that feeling with that thought, You got to feel it. Yeah, because we can pretend a whole lot. But until we get that feeling, that's when that thought becomes a reality. Yeah. And as you said, gratitude is one of those ways. When you get immersed in the attitude of gratitude, you can get that feeling. When you feel good, grateful, you're feeling good about what's going. And that good feeling and the knowing the truth, this is what we are here to say. This is what we're here to discuss. And I'm laughing because I wrote something here, but I haven't got to it yet. Knowing that all that I am, being the divine power of the being that created all the newness of life itself. So when I said at that desk this morning, I said, I want to have a sense of awareness that I know this in everybody that's hearing my voice. And that's what I feel like it is now. All of us are aware that this life we're living is a growing process. So we don't have to give in to any of those thoughts of carrying problems into the future. You don't have to get into that. We have the ability to shift our thinking right now. And I know that what I'm saying, I feel like that what I'm saying, absolutely everybody in this room understands what I'm talking about. Yep. There's nobody here that hasn't grabbed onto it at one time or another. And we learn to grab onto it more and more and more every day. Because this is why we're here. This is why we keep coming back. Because we identify with this awareness, this growth in awareness and understanding that we are the spiritual beings of life. And that is joy. It is so much joy that I feel like that is real freedom. And freedom I can understand why. I can't even remember his name, but this guy that was in the concentration camps, but he had a certain amount of freedom in where he was because he knew and understand. And I read this story where this lady said was on death row, and she discovered this spiritual presence in life, and she said that that she could be free where she was. So she accepted that this is, I got this freedom. And she ended up getting out of prison. And so, you know, there are lots and lots of stories where people have just shift that thinking, shift that feeling, shift that understanding of who and what and where they are, and the whole thing changed. That's what we have in front of us. It's all inside of us. I think y'all said that in the song too, didn't you? So more and more I recognize, to the extent that I accept the truth about myself, that I am experiencing this. And I had a real good experience of that today. So it was like, I don't want to do this morning. That's how it started. But now I'm standing here and I'm looking at all these smiles and these happy faces in front of me and say, yes, this is what it's about. This is what it is. And Spirit said, every one of them will understand exactly what you're talking about. And yeah, I'm looking at y'all and I'm saying, yes, y'all did. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is a treatment of recognition, recognizing that God is all there is. And in knowing this and feeling this and understanding this, this is what I feel is coming forth. And I let it come forth as my thoughts and my words right now. I allow it to understand that understanding that Spirit is what guides and directs every step, every thought, every word, every expression, even the songs that are sung, even every aspect of being is Spirit saying yes to life in and through me. I am that avenue which the greatness of life is able to bring newness to being alive, to being in transition, to being in a different state of awareness, to being in all that we are able to be, and that is infinite in its possibilities. As I know this and I understand this, I can let the word of the divine say as a unit, as one unit, as all of us, that I am that I am is the love, the beauty, the joy, the power of creation itself. And I accept wholeheartedly, with every fiber of my being, that this spiritual presence takes charge of my being right here, right now, and moves forward to create constant newness, blessing every soul that comes into our experience, blessing every aspect of life that flows from my thought process, from the feeling of joy and peace and love, And to know that this wondrous awareness of one that I am experiencing right now, that we all are experiencing right now, says that we are the way in which the harmony of humankind finds its way into expression on a greater and a broader and more profound way. I can rejoice, truly rejoice, in the joy of knowing that I am a way in which peace and love finds its way into humankind's experience, not just in my life, but all over the world. And I willingly allow myself to be that nugget of truth that lights the way. All of this, we unite together. We come together in accepting it and realizing that this wisdom that we are experiencing and knowing right now goes forth in every step. And we know it and acknowledge it together as we say, and so it is.